Welcome to Blissfully Aging. I'm your host, Chris Stewart of Advanced Home Care Solutions. I'll be hosting this 7-episode mini-series in which we'll be visiting with older adults who are living life to the fullest. We'll be exploring the ways that these folks are engaged in these diverse pursuits and finding out what keeps them involved. We'll be talking with seniors who are healers, swimmers, runners, entrepreneurs, performers, and artists. The purpose of this mini-series is to show others that it's never too late to take up activities. We'll see how they've moved away from the stereotypes generally associated with growing older. These folks know that staying active and engaged is one of the many keys to longevity. So let's visit with them and see what inspiring adventures they have to share with us. Welcome to Blissfully Aging's Changing Lifestyles episode. In this episode, we're going to visit with guests who have transitioned to fun, joint-friendly activities. Our guests today are involved in ballroom dance and competitive swimming. The first group of guests we'll visit with are dancers, and they're members of Seniors for Learning in Retirement, or SLR as it's commonly called. SLR is a nonprofit organization which supports the learning needs of seniors in the Okanagan Valley. These dancers meet weekly to experience this fun, and they do love their instructor. They explore their creative side while they're dancing as well. Our second guest is Connie Stamhuis. Connie is a competitive swimmer. She has actually influenced several generations of her family. They're all competitive swimmers. Connie recently won first in her category at an international event. Her family members continually are inspired by her, and they continue to compete as well. Connie can't imagine not swimming on a daily basis. She said she enjoys the camaraderie and the exhilaration of the sport itself. Let's visit with these folks and see what keeps them so engaged in their fun. I have a guest here today with me, Connie Stamhuis. Now, Connie is a swimmer. And Connie, can you tell us how old you are and how many times a week you swim?
I'm 82 and I go 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
3 times a week?
3 times a week.
And
yeah.
how long do you swim for each time?
2 times it's an hour, and on Sundays it's an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Well, but it's nice. If you are used to doing it, then it's not that long.
It's not that long.
No.
Where do you swim these days?
It's at H2O.
The H2O Center. Okay.
That is where our club is also located.
Oh, so you're a member of a swimming club?
Yes.
And what's the name of that club?
Okanagan Master Swim Club.
Okay, so
Yes.
what age does a person need to be able to be a member of that swim club?
18.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
18 is the age that you are allowed to swim in nationals and international swim meets. We have made that decision because before that time they have youth clubs,
Right.
and they're in the Olympics. And then when they're 18, many go to university or whatever, and then they don't know if they want to continue swimming.
Right.
There's nothing out for them, so they can come to us.
So let's get back to you for a minute. How long have you been swimming for?
I started when I was 5, and I swam until just for a few years, because then the war started and I didn't. Then I started again when I was 15, and I swam until I immigrated at 19. And then I didn't until I was retired at 65.
So you picked swimming back up just less than
Yes.
20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what
What's
I
been
did.
your most enjoyable moment or your most enjoyable time swimming? Anything come to mind?
Yes, well, I enjoy the competitive events, because then you're also with a group.
Right.
And you really support each other. You go to different hotels and you eat together,
Right.
and it's social.
It is,
Yes,
yeah, I can
very,
see that.
and I enjoy that too.
So what's the biggest event you ever competed in?
Just recently in Montreal, where we had the World Master Swimming Championships. There
Okay.
were 9,000 swimmers there.
Wow.
3,000 of them were water polo players, synchronized, and divers, and 6,000 were swimmers. For the first time in my life, I had competition.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you happy with how you did?
Yes,
Oh, good.
I won a gold.
You did. You won
Yeah.
a gold.
Mhm.
That's pretty
In one
remarkable.
event.
In one event. That's
That
pretty
was,
remarkable.
But that was very thrilling.
So
That's
was that a national competition or an international?
international. It was a
Really?
world competition.
And so you won gold in your category.
Yes.
That is truly amazing.
I beat 15 very fit ladies from all over the world.
That's a pretty significant accomplishment.
I couldn't believe it at first. It was my teammates who told me, Connie, you won, because I never look. I never look, and I figured that I wouldn't be able to beat all of them. I had seen their times
Right.
before. So
it was a big surprise when
it
you
was
found
a big
out.
surprise, and it was a very thrilling feeling.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
So you're obviously going to continue with this
Yes.
for as long as you
For
can.
as long as I
many,
can.
many more years, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. So does anybody else in your family swim?
Yes, my son, and he is also an international swimmer. He has many national records on his in his name. So he often goes along. He was also in Montreal, and we've been in Sydney, Australia, and we've been in Turin. It was always very enjoyable.
Have they ever strived to be in the Olympics?
Well, at our age, we couldn't. Michael did when he was 16 or 17, but his schoolwork had to be more important. So he went back and swam at UBC. But and then he just they become jobs, take time. But he always kept involved with swimming. He always officiates. He has gone as high as he can go. He can referee in international meets. He has been sent out by Canada to Australia at one time to referee an international big world swim meet. So that is very enjoyable, that he always comes with me.
Well, you
Yeah.
must be very proud of him.
I am, and
So-
of course I have a grandson.
Excellent. So, because the seniors series is for seniors, to encourage them to continue on with a favorite activity, maybe like swimming,
Yes.
or perhaps to convince them to take up swimming.
They should.
What would you say to a novice swimmer who's an older adult? How would you encourage them to take up the sport?
I would tell them that, you see, most older people, they have pains and aches somewhere. I said the water is gentle. You will not feel any pain. You will enjoy it, and then you'll meet people and you become enthusiastic about feeling good afterwards, because you do.
Right.
And it is something that you can do until you die.
Truthfully, it is.
Yes.
Requires very little equipment, not expensive to get into.
No, absolutely not.
Good pair of swim trunks and maybe some
That
towels,
is right.
and that would be about
a
it.
good cap
And a good cap.
Goggles, especially good goggles.
Okay, so
Yeah.
swim trunks, a swimming cap, and goggles.
Goggles.
Those are the three
Very,
must-haves.
they must have. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of a person or what kind of a trainer or course should they look for if they're thinking of getting into this?
If they cannot swim at all, then of course they should first take lessons. And if they then enjoy it so much that they also would like some of the social part, or because in our club we have 3 categories. We have social swimmers, recreational swimmers we call them. We have triathletes, and we have then the competitive swimmers.
That makes sense.
And yes, and they all are trained a little bit differently.
So there is a place then for an older adult to go who's never
Absolutely.
swum at all to get some help learning how to swim.
They first need to learn, because they need to be able to swim from one end, at least 2 lengths,
Right, okay.
50 meters.
Okay.
And if they can do that, then it's just a matter of keeping going.
Right.
Because I can tell you, I couldn't swim 1 length when I started.
You were out of
I
breath.
was totally, I could do the strokes, but I didn't have the endurance.
Right.
But you get that if you keep going.
Right. And, swimming certainly is known as a very joint-friendly exercise.
It is.
So it sounds like it would be good to develop your aerobic capacity, your breathing
It is
ability,
good for
your muscles,
everything.
and it's easy on your joints.
And it is, and the only thing it doesn't, and it doesn't make bone, but the rest of it, your whole system, it's enjoyable.
Right.
And it feels good.
And then the camaraderie with the other
Yes.
swimmers too.
Absolutely.
Is it
because
expensive to get into? I know you said the swimming trunks, the cap, and the goggles, but what about the course
membership.
or the membership?
The membership, of course, is an expense, but what we have now at H2O and the Y, we have a partnership, and we pay a monthly fee, and that way we can also use most of the rest of the facility,
Okay,
which is very nice.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Connie, it's been such a delight to talk with you today. You've got so much enthusiasm for swimming, and I'm
do.
sure our viewers would agree that swimming sounds like an absolutely divine sport to get into. It's
for
easy
older
to do.
people, it's the thing to get into.
It certainly sounds like it.
Yeah.
And I've been to the H2O Center. It's really beautiful there. The swimming, it's like a swimming park.
Yeah.
There are activities for people of all ages. There's even a hot tub up there. There's a big
Oh
swimming
yeah, that's where we do
lap
our
pool.
gossiping.
Oh, okay.
I should tell you, there's a club in Victoria called the Silver Streaks.
Oh, okay.
And they are a delightful club. Most of them are older, but they compete with us. They're always there that want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's neat. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like there's a lot of benefits to swimming.
Yes, there is.
Wonderful.
I think so.
Well, Connie, it's been so much fun having you here today. I've learned
you.
more about swimming than I knew before.
Okay.
So
good.
thank you, and all the best to you with your swimming career.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Welcome, folks, to Blissful Aging. Can I get you to introduce yourself? What's your first name?
My name is Sharon.
Sharon. And
Ray.
And
Roberta.
Okay. So I had the great privilege of watching you folks do an activity here at the Seniors for Learning in Retirement at the Martin Street Center. I watched you doing something pretty fun. Can you tell me what you were doing? Describe what you were doing to me.
Well, I was
Sharon.
having the time of my life. I was doing the 5th week of the rumba.
Okay.
It was lovely.
Great. So Sharon, Ray, and Roberta, how long have you been involved in dancing here?
Here in SLR?
In SLR?
Oh, I think I started in the last fall in September last
Okay.
year.
Wonderful. And Ray, what about you?
I think it's about 3 years now, is it?
I think so.
Close to that, yeah.
So the two of you attend these sessions together then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
great.
a couple. We're a couple.
Okay, good. So what made you get involved in dance, Sharon?
Well, I've been dancing pretty well all my life.
Oh, okay.
And if it was ballet or Scottish Highland dancing or ballroom dancing, my husband was a ballroom dancer, so we've danced for years.
Wonderful. And Ray and Roberta, what about you? What made you get involved in this?
Well, I think both of us grew up dancing, community dances. We were born and brought up on the prairies, and it was poor
Right.
weekend if you didn't have at least a dance to go to. one.
Exactly, yeah.
And of course, that wasn't ballroom dancing.
No.
So we thought it would be nice to be able to learn some new steps to the dances that we already knew and to learn some new dances. So that's
Great.
basically why we got
Why
involved.
you got involved. Okay. So what do you all get out of dancing anywhere, here or any place that you go to? What do you get out of it?
Oh, it's wonderful exercise. It's so therapeutic. You meet lovely people, develop friendships, and it's a body, mind, social, psychological, spiritual experience.
Right. And you folks, what do you get out of it?
I think it's fun.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's right. It's fun, and it's also a great experience because we have a really good instructor, a very patient person who goes over the steps again and again until you get them right. And there's very little stress associated with the learning part of it, which makes it much more enjoyable.
Nice. Great. So what helps you stay involved in dance? You're older adults. What helps you stay involved? What makes you wake up on the day that the dance sessions are and think, yes, I'm going to go? What helps you stay involved in it?
We consider it a social activity.
Okay.
We like to go to dinner dances and so on, and we enjoy the process of going out on the dance floor and seeing if you can do that dance or whatever, and learning more about it. It's just a social activity for us as much as an exercise. We just enjoy doing it.
Okay.
But it's also exercise as well, and it's exercise for the body as well as the brain.
Right.
And of course, these days, it's important for seniors to keep their mind busy,
That's right.
and this is one way of doing it.
Right.
I think it's more exercise for my brain because I have to think of the next step that's going to be done.
I've heard that leads, you're a man, and so you're called a lead. Ladies are follows. I've heard that this is more difficult for leads because you have to be thinking of where you're going, and you also have to make sure you navigate around the floor and not bump
That's right.
into other people. So you do have a lot of responsibility, but I know as a lady dancer, otherwise known as a follow, that it's difficult too because you don't know necessarily what your partner's going to be doing. So you have to be very good at following their lead. So both parties, lead and follow, have challenging parts.
Yes, you
It's a
only
lot
get
easier.
the right signals.
Right.
It's a lot
So-
easier if you do it together all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, the more you practice together with the same partner, I would imagine the easier the dance steps become and the
Yeah.
more fun it is then.
Yes,
The first part, when you're first learning, I imagine is a little difficult, right? Just because you're learning new steps, you're not quite sure what's going to happen. But now I've seen you're all very experienced dancers as well as the other folks in your class. Everyone was just remarkable. How do you think your life has improved because of being involved in dance?
We're keeping, sorry.
Well, it's
We're
so
keeping
much
active.
fun, and yeah, it's activity, and it's so nice to have a good dancing instructor.
Okay,
It just makes you want to come.
great, good. So, what do you think you would be doing right now if you weren't involved in dance?
I would be at the coffee shop.
You'd be at the coffee shop. Roberta, where would you be right now if you weren't involved in dance?
I should probably be out in my garden doing some tidying up, which involves an
season.
entirely different kind of dance.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little hard.
Yeah.
And what would you be doing if you
The
weren't
same
involved in
thing,
dance?
mowing the lawn, getting the things ready for winter, taking
Right.
long walks,
Right.
and maybe going swimming, which I love.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So, what would you have to say to other older adults who are considering taking up a new pursuit that's, gentle, active, and fun? What would you say to them if they were considering taking up dance?
Try it.
Try it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it sounds like you've had great experiences at the Seniors for Learning and Retirement. And so you say try it. Roberta, what would you advise other older adults to do if they're thinking of dance?
Well, I think that if they are the slightest bit interested, this is a good place to start. It's not expensive. You get wonderful instruction.
Good.
And very precise direction. And it's just a fun experience.
Nice.
And the stress is not there, because Dawn is very careful about leading you through and making you feel comfortable about what you're doing.
Wonderful. I understand Dawn is a former competitor, so it sounds like you have the very best of instruction.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
A lot of
The
respect.
many people that I have met were frightened
Oh,
because they didn't know how to dress or how to move properly. And I said, that's one thing you don't have to worry about.
right. No
Just-
fancy
there's
dress required,
no
special
stress.
skills to start.
Just excitement.
Just excitement. Excellent. Well, thank you, all of you, for talking with me today. I really admire your commitment to dance and to staying physically fit, as you all are, and so active, and it's been a pure joy to watch you and your colleagues in dance today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.